Jayo Radha Madhava Kunja Bihari Jayo Radha Madhava Kunja Bihari Jayo Radha Madhava Kunja Bihari Jaya Gopijana Vallabha Girivaradhari Jaya Gopijana Vallabha Jaya Gopijana Vallabha Girivaradhari Jaya Gopijana Vallabha Jashoda Nandana Vraja Jana Ranjana Jashoda Nandana Vraja Jana Ranjana Jashoda Nandana Vraja Jana Ranjana Jashoda Nandana Yamuna Tira Vanachari Yamuna Tira Vanachari Yamuna Tira Vanachari Jayo Radha Madhava Kunja Bihari 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 Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Jayo Radha Madhav, Radha Madhav, Radha Madhav, Shri Shri Radha Madhav. Jaya Jaya Prabhupada, 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 Jaya Jaya Prabhupada. Prabhupada. Thai Gaur Sitanath Premanandi Hari Gaur. Jai Om Vishnupada Paramahamsa, Prajakacharya, Ashwat Sahasrananga Sabachananda Bhaktivinoda Swami Srila Prabhupada ki, Granthara Srimad Bhagavatam ki, Hare Krishna Mahamantra ki, Hare Krishna. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Narayanam Namaskritya Naram Chaiva Narottamam Devim Saraswatim Vyasam Tato Jayamudire Nashta Prayeshu Bhadreshu Nityam Bhagavata Sevaya Bhagavati Uttama Shloke Bhaktir Bhavati Naishtiki. Thank you for joining for the Sunday Youth Forum class. We will read from, is Dinesh Prabhu here? Not there. Okay, good. He asked me to speak on one of the toughest verses in Bhagavatam, which is actually the Chatushloki Bhagavatam. How many of you have done Bhakti Vaibhav here? Okay. At least done this portion of Bhakti Vaibhav. No? Is it done? Okay. For someone who is actually well qualified, these shlokas are much easier to understand. But someone who is a beginner, these are not easy shlokas at all. Very tough shlokas. 2933? Okay. So we'll read the 2933, but we'll try to cover whatever we can on this. Because this is called the Chatushloki, means 4 shlokas of Bhagavatam that Lord Narayan Hari spoke to Lord Brahma before creation. Hare Krishna. Okay. Can we get the shloka on? That's 2.9.33. Grab it. Okay, that's nice. Okay, let it come. Okay, maybe we can actually chant the mantras before it comes, right? Om Ajnanatimirandasya Jnananjanashalakaya Chakshurmilitam Yena Tasmai Shri Gurave Namaha Shri Chaitanya Manobishtam Sthapitam Yena Bhutale Swayam Rupa Kadamahyam Dadati Swapadantikam Vandeham Shri Guru Shri Utapada Kamalam Shri Guru Vaishnavamsha Shri Rupam Sagrajatam Sahagana Raghunathan Vitam Tam Sajivam Sadvaitam Savadutam Parijana Sahitam Krishna Chaitanya Devam Shri Radha Krishna Pada Sahagana Lalita Shri Vishaka Vitamsha Nama Om Vishnu Padaya Krishna Preshtaya Bhutale Srimate Bhaktivedanta Swaminiti Namine Namaste Saraswate Deve Gauravani Pracharine Nirvisesha Shunyavadi Pashyat Deshatarine Namo Mahavadanyaya Krishna Prema Pradayate Krishnaya Krishna Chaitanya Namne Gauratise Namaha Namo Brahmanya Devaya Go Brahmanya Hitaya Cha Jagatitaya Krishnaya Govindaya Namo Namaha Vancha Kalpatarubhyascha Kripa Sindhubhya Eva Cha Patitanam Pravanebhyo Vaishnavebhyo Namo Namaha Jaya Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadara Shivasati Gaura Bhaktivinoda Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare Hare. Still not there? Who's driver? Okay, that's okay. It is. We'll recite this verse. Canto 2, Chapter 9, Text 33. 33 to 36 actually are called the Chatushloki Bhagavatam, and Prabhupada's purports are like pages and pages purports because it's very important shloka, all the four. Because of that, Prabhupada spent a lot of time on the 33. We'll read that. Aham eva sameva gre nanyad yattad yatsad asat param paschad aham yad yetacha yo vashishyeta sosmi aham aham eva sameva gre nanyad yatsad asat param paschad aham yad yetacha yo vashishyeta sosmi aham aham eva sameva gre nanyad yatsat asat param paschad aham yad etacha yo vashishyeta sosmi aham. Somebody wants to try? Aham eva sameva gre. Aham eva sameva gre. Yat asat param. Yat asat param. Paschad aham yat etacha. Yo vashishyeta sosmi aham. Aham eva sameva gre. Nanyad yatsad asat param paschad aham yadat chacha yo vashishyeta susmi smaham. Aham eva sameva gre nanyad yatsad asat param paschad aham yadat chacha yo vashishyeta sosmiham. Okay, we will go to the translation. It's a long purport. I'm not going to read the purport. The purport goes for 4 pages, but we'll try to summarize what is this shloka all about. Why did Brahma ask a question that Lord answered like this? Brahma, it is I, the personality of Godhead, who was existing before the creation, when there was nothing but myself, nor was there the material nature, the cause of this creation. That which you see now is also I, the personality of Godhead, And after annihilation, what remains will also be I, the personality of Godhead. So you can see here 1, 2, 3. 3 times Aham is there. But Prabhupada translated it as Aham means I, the personality of Godhead. So these 4 shlokas are called Chatushloki basically because these are the seed verses of Srimad Bhagavatam. If you see Srimad Bhagavatam, there are 18,000 shlokas, right? If you count one by one, it's only 14,000. They are not 18,000 because some of the shlokas are long shlokas, some of them are short shlokas. But if you convert everything into this meter, which is your 4-syllable ones, that aham eva sameva agre, everything, it comes to 18,000. Otherwise, if you count it numbers wise, it's only 14,000. But these 4 verses was expanded by Narada Muni, right? Vyasadeva, all the different personalities like Vidura, Mahatma, all of them actually expanded this and it became 18,000. So that means you can understand it is a concentrated, right? Any liquid you take, juice you make, especially the Youth Forum makes a lot of nice juices in the Chaitanya Youth Festival. So you put a concentrate and put 10 liters of water, still it tastes okay, right? So they have actually expanded it so nicely that the more devotees actually preach about the glories of Bhagavatam, it's endless. The glories of the Lord is endless. But why did Prabhupada actually write such a big purport here? And if you see the purport, it's not easy to comprehend what is Prabhupada trying to do. Thank you. Hare Krishna. Sri Prabhupada spent a lot of time refuting the Mayavad philosophy because Srimad Bhagavatam is a lot of pastimes. Mayavadis don't like pastimes. Mayavadis mean those who are impersonalists, who prefer the impersonal form of the Lord or impersonal, formless aspect of the Supreme and say anything else is illusion. So they like these verses because this verse is interpretable in many ways. Because Aham, the word Bhagavan is not there here. So Bhagavan really means personality of Godhead. But only Aham is there. So they will actually comment on this. And Prabhupada has written so much of purport saying that even if Aham means just I, no personality, still there are 2 I's. One is the Supreme Lord I, and this is Brahma I. Right? The 2 I's. They are not the same because the word you is there. That means whatever you are seeing me, I'm the same person. So they actually try to do some kind of a mix and match on the words and come up to say that the Supreme actually is formless. And because it's formless, that I, Aham, is the Supreme Aham, it's the same Aham. You are the same, I am the same. So there's no difference. So there is no question of bhakti at all. There's no question of 2 different individualities. Only if there are 2, there'll be interaction. If there's only one way, the question of interaction. There's no interaction, there's no relationship. That's how they explain. They try to squeeze out some meaning which is not actually right meaning. Why is it written like this? In the Mahabharata, there is actually the story of Ashwatthama getting demotivated in the war. What really happens there? We know that Krishna asks Bhima to go and kill an elephant. Right? The elephant's name is Ashwatthama. So Bhima doesn't, but for Bhima it's like, he likes orders like this. He goes and slaps one on the elephant dies. Right? And he blows the conch saying Ashwatthama is killed. Right? Because the name of the elephant was Ashwatthama. The moment that is heard by Dronacharya, he gets demotivated, like, okay, I am fighting because my son is there. If my son is killed, what am I going to do? I think I should start the war. But Dronacharya doesn't believe. He knows that Krishna will actually tell the truth. When Bhima blows the conch, Krishna also blows the conch. Then Dronacharya actually goes to Yudhishthira Maharaj, because Yudhishthira Maharaj would not tell a lie. He is Dharmaraj, he is Dharma. By nature, by constitution, he can't tell a lie. Right? He can't make a mistake. So when he asks that question, Yudhishthira responds back, Ashwatthama is killed, yes, but Narova Kunjara. That means it's human being or elephant? I don't know. Okay, he mentions that. But when that's mentioned, Krishna actually blows a conch. So Dhronacha is not able to hear. He only hears Narava. So he accepts that and then he sits down. Now, right after this incident, in Mahabharata text it's mentioned that Yudhishthira Maharaj's chariot used to normally actually go about 1 cubic feet high always. He was always truthful because whenever he used to ride the chariot would not touch the ground. It would actually go this much up. This much up alone, it will travel. I mean, he literally flies low. Right? No, not flies up, but he flies above the ground. Right after, it's mentioned in the Mahabharata that right after this incident, Yudhishthira Maharaj's chariot landed down. That means he started going on the ground. That's how it's mentioned. Now, if you ask the normal moralist, Mayavadis or any of these people, they mention in the commentaries that because he said a lie, the chariot landed down. But our Vaishnava Acharyas, what do they explain? They don't explain it like that. They say because Yudhishthira Maharaj hesitated to follow Krishna's instructions, that was a sin. That was actually the mistake. So it landed down. Now you see, from a Shastric perspective, you can interpret it in many ways. How Vaishnava Acharyas are interpreting, how the opposite, like impersonalists, Mayavadis and moralists, they are actually interpreting. Same thing is this. Unless until this can be interpreted in many ways. Now why would actually Lord allow text to be written like this? Why can't he actually give it Aham Bhagavan like that? Right? No confusion at all. Because for Krishna, he does not distinguish between anybody. Samoham sarvabhuteshu name dvesha priya. He does not distinguish between impersonalists, Mayavadis, moralists, immoralists, devotees, nobody. He doesn't distinguish at all. He sees all of them same. Okay? If it had been given, then they will actually not have an option to continue their ways of thinking. So the Lord wants that to continue. However, does the Lord likes this? He does not. Samoham sarvabhuteshu name dveshyo srinapriya e bhajanti tu mam bhaktya maiteshu tapyam. He says, if somebody worships me in devotion, I also worship him. Means I also reciprocate with him. I love to be with him. He is in me, I am in them. So this is the Lord. The Lord loves the devotees. But he does not hate anybody. Getting it? He does not hate the Mayavadis. He does not hate the impersonalists. But the devotees of the Lord, knowing the heart of the Lord, they hate the Mayavadis. Why? Because they are saying, you are supposed to serve the Lord, so much of pleasure is there. You are saying the Lord and me are the same. There is no difference. That means the Mayavadis compare Varahadev with ordinary boar, which actually eats stool. Impossible. It's very offensive. So the Lord's devotees actually, they don't distinguish. They are they distinguish. They say Mayavadis are all rascals. Prabhupada would actually use that word very frequently, out of compassion. Yeah? Now, coming to this verse, the background about this verse is important to understand. Why did the Lord give such an answer? We know this happened in the beginning of creation, when Brahma was actually going to create. He's not yet started creating. The entire universe, the spiritual world is always there eternally. Material world is created, and the Lord expands. Sankarshan expands as Mahavishnu, Karanodakshaya Vishnu. Karanodakshaya Vishnu expands as Garbhodakshaya Vishnu, and from Garbhodakshaya Vishnu's navel, a lotus flower comes out. And on the top of the lotus, Brahmaji actually appears. It's all happening like a mystic, like something is happening and Brahma comes. And when Brahma actually comes out, he's completely confused because everything is dark around. And he says, where did I come from? And he looks around here and there, and he sees that he's come from the lotus. He tries to go inside, nothing. He's not able to go in. So he's sitting there, and he looks around here and there, but he hears two words, two syllables. Tapa, right? Tapa. Tapa means heat. Tap, heat. How you heat yourself? By sacrifice, right? Whenever you actually do sacrifice, the body gets heated so much. Brahmaji understands this naturally, that this is supposed to be the meditation I need to do. And he starts meditating for 1,000 celestial years. 1,000 celestial is a long time. Okay, of course, the celestial years is not the life of Brahma. 1000 celestial years is nothing in front of a day of Brahma. Because day of Brahma, Sahasra Yuga Paryantam, so much long duration Brahmaji has. So he meditates for 1000 years. What does he meditate on? He meditates on the word tapa. Because he doesn't know anything else. So he understands that my self is meant for sacrifice to the Supreme. Whoever told this word tapa, they want me to sacrifice myself for their pleasure. This was the mindset he had. And he meditated like that. My body, myself, my existence is for his pleasure. My existence is for his pleasure. This was the mindset he had. Because, see, this is the same mindset we should also have. Because the moment we actually understand that my body, my mind, myself, my existence is meant for Krishna's pleasure, there's no way you'll think of sense gratification. You'll always think of Krishna's sense gratification. So because he did for 1000 celestial years, Krishna was very pleased. Right? Garbhodakashaya Vishnu is lying down, Brahma is on the top, and now who appeared? Appearing now. Jagannath appeared. Lord Hari, the ruler of Vaikuntha, he appeared. Right? Garbhodakashaya Vishnu is lying down. He didn't come up. He is there. He doesn't move anywhere. But Lord Hari, who is actually the Supreme Person of Godhead, the Lord of Vaikuntha, he appeared. And he appeared and then was very pleased with Jai Jagannath Deva Jai Subhadra Mai Sudarshan Ki Jai. He appeared and he congratulated Brahma. I'm very pleased with your performance of selflessness. Since you actually have sacrificed yourself completely with devotion to me, I'm very pleased. And then Prabhupada mentioned that in the shloka it's mentioned Lord Vishnu, Hari shook hands. Right? Shook hands with Brahma. So that means the shaking hands was there. Not that people say only Namaskar, you should not shake hands. But it's there that Brahmaji was very happy that Lord shook him. And when Lord actually touches Brahma, what will happen? Brahma is a living entity. Right? So he was completely electrified. And in that mindset, he also, hearing whatever Lord was telling, Hari was actually telling him, Lord Hari was actually explaining many things, saying that what you have done is not easy to do. It's a very great activity you have done. I am very pleased and things like that. And at the end, he asked Brahma, now that I have appeared before you, ask for any benediction you want. And Brahma actually started glorifying him that you are Varadaraj. You actually give a lot of blessings. Now, I don't know. How did Brahma come to know about all these things? That is Varadaraj. Because he's the first living entity. You will not have past memory, you can go and then look into history and say, okay, Lord has awarded this boon, this boon, this boon. No, he doesn't know these things. Because it's the day of Brahma, beginning of one of the days of Brahma. Because we understand, first time the creation is done by Mahavishnu, right? Karandaksha Vishnu, Garbhodakashaya Vishnu. And eventually, every day of Brahma only creates. So that's why Brahma is called Visarga, that is secondary creation. He doesn't create first time. Mahavishnu creates first time. Brahma creates second time. Now, when this happens, because the question was actually asked by Brahma that what does this tapa means, right? Vishnu actually explains that tapa really means the original energy through which I myself create, I maintain everything, I annihilate everything. That's the same energy tapa really means. Those are all internal understanding our Vaishnava acharyas have commented so much. That is why when the word tapa was used, he got all the blessings. Sometimes he'll wonder, why did he not give Hare Krishna Mahamantra? Would have been much easier, right? We could have understood. But again, you understand that Krishna is not a property of one person. The Supreme Person of God is property of the entire creation. For us to make our life easy and peaceful and much simpler to go back to God, Srila Prabhupada has painstakingly taken all the commentaries and written in a way that we can understand. Otherwise, it would have been very difficult to understand these things. See, imagine if this interpretation was not given properly, then you would have gone by the moralist saying that, okay, maybe aham, this aham, same aham, you, the me in me would have come. Right? So, very confusing it is. Now, Brahma was very happy that he explained this, that original energy, what was required, was that tapa. And Krishna himself says, Lord Hari says, I also maintain even the spiritual world, the same thing. But that doesn't mean that Lord does tapa. He owns the tapa energy. Okay, but he has that, he can give it to anybody. And anybody who gets it, we get it through the Guru. That is why austerity, whatever we do, any austerity you take for the pleasure of Krishna, that austerities will purify us and take us closer to Krishna. You follow Ekadashi nicely. For the pleasure of Krishna, don't go through the Ekadashi Mahatmya and say that I will get this benefit. That is karma kanda understanding. The same thing in bhakti means I do it only for the pleasure of the Lord. I don't want anything in return. This mindset we should have. Tulsi Maharani, we pray, don't ask for the benediction that Brahma Hatya, give me relief from Brahma Hatya. No, I am worshipping Tulsi Maharani because Krishna will be pleased. That mindset we should always do. In bhakti, we should always think about pleasure of Krishna. Pleasing Krishna is the only goal of our existence. Because Brahma did that, if you follow in his parampara, we also get it. Now, Brahma was supposed to create. He somehow got that realization that I have been created to create. Okay? Because he's a secondary creator. He understood that. He wanted to get everything clear because nobody is there. He's all alone and he has to do this activity. See, sometimes somebody comes and tells you, Prabhu, can you actually go and do this? You go there and say, for example, you have to do ironing of Srila Prabhupada's clothes, and you do start doing it. Sometimes you find, should I fold this like this or like that? So you ask some of the devotees who have been doing, right? But Brahma has nobody to ask, right? So you want to be clear what's in store for him. So he asked 4 questions. Very interesting questions he asked. That is a summary of before coming to this, right? He asked that you are transcendental. You don't look like you are from material, like what I have seen. Your body and my body don't look similar. How do you take incarnations into this? Because the Lord said, I am there before also, I am there, because that's the same thing everywhere. How do you accept material bodies? Your spiritual forms and material forms, explain that to me. Because he started thinking, I came from this person down. He is transcendental. How is that I am material? Correct? So for example, you are creating something. How is that you are in a... See, whatever you are, you can only create that. You can't create something else. You being a human being, you can't create a dog. Right? If the Lord is transcendental, how is Brahma material? Right? He was confused. How is it possible? Right? So he asked this question, how is this material in spiritual forms? The second question he asks is, how do you create, maintain and annihilate the material world? And how does your material energies work? Basically, he's asking about both the spiritual energy, which is called the Yoga Maya, and the material energy called Mahamaya. Now, this is not written. These are all our Acharya's commentary. Okay, this is not written. Now, only the Acharyas who can actually visualize this entire thing by the mercy of Parampara and Krishna himself, they are able to write this. Because if you read the shloka, you will never understand this meaning. You can read it 10 times, 20 times, you will never get this meaning. It's difficult because the Acharyas have put their effort to make sure that we are not in the wrong path. Sometimes people actually ask this question. I myself ask them many times, when will he get to see Krishna? Right? Couple of days back we had this Bhakti Vaibhav class. It was very nicely given by Damodar Prabhu. One of the things is that we have to intensely pray to the Lord, continuously pray to the Lord, and austerity should be there, and with intention that I want to please the Lord, and the Lord will appear. My question is how much you have to do that the Lord will appear, because all of us are not on the same level, right? Each one of us are one. The answer for this is, in bhakti, we don't want the Lord to appear. We simply want to please him, and if when he is pleased, he will. But in karma kanda process, there is a number of times. For example, in the karma kanda explanation, it's mentioned that 1 billion times you recite the names of Brahmaji, Lord Brahma will appear. You just recite. That's why all these demons worship Brahma. 10 billion times you recite the names of Lord Shiva will appear. They are forced to appear. That's a rule they are. The three Murtis have made that rule. If you do this way, they will appear. And 100 billion times the names of Vishnu, you do it, they will appear. But this is karma kanda process. There is no bhakti here. They will appear. If you do that, then ask for what you want. And they will ask some stupid things. After spending so much of time, they'll ask, give me immortal, I don't want to die, and things like that, right? But Brahma is much easier to please. But Brahma can give you only 50-50 powers, not everything. Lord Shiva can give far more powers. So they know whom to actually worship. Sometimes they choose Brahma, sometimes they choose Shiva. But they don't worship Lord Vishnu because anyways what Lord Vishnu can give, Lord Shiva also can give. Okay, except for liberation to the Supreme World. They don't want that anyways. Right? They don't want that. They just want to actually be in this material world because the material world is, time is so much. Imagine if you actually have to chant Hare Krishna Mantra for 5 million years. 16 rounds every day get up for Mangalarati. Huh? 20 years, 30 years is okay. When I become old, okay, fine. This is such a long time. So most of them who are very young, they want, like, if someone has to die, it will be very, very late. That time I'll see. Right now I want to use the powers. I want to enjoy this material world. That is why they ask for these kind of boons. They don't go to Vishnu. Even if they go to Vishnu also, Vishnu can give the same thing what are they asking for. But very rarely some of them will worship Vishnu because Lord Shiva, the demons especially, they worship Lord Shiva more because it's much easier to please him. He doesn't Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Is it okay at the back? Audible? Yeah, so they worship Brahmaji or Lord Shiva and get whatever they want. And they enjoy life for a long time and finally get killed by either Vishnu or Lord Shiva or Durga Devi, somebody. So this is murktana, what you call foolishness. They are so foolish, they could have actually understood the real goal of life because power corrupts them and the absolute power corrupts absolutely. Right? They say normal power corrupts people. It's a word saying like this. Power corrupts. This is basically power corrupts. Absolute power corrupts absolutely. Right? So it's not actually good to actually have so much of power. But unfortunately, these demons want to enjoy material world because it's a long duration of life they have. If it had been that they have to actually follow Krishna consciousness for 10 years and then they become perfect, they would have done it. It's such a long time, the Lord won't appear so easily. Even for us, the Lord won't appear so easily. So we should understand that it's going to be a long haul. But what's the mercy that we have? Panchatattva, Lord Chaitanya, Nitai Chaitanya. Deva appear to actually give the mercy. You are not qualified, we are not qualified. But because we are trying to please the Acharyas, we are trying to do some activities to please the Acharyas to the best of our capacity, Chaitanya Mahaprabhu gives us that mercy, that yes, come. Otherwise, practically seeing all these things like 1,000 celestial years, Brahmaji is worshipping. It's all like unheard of. 1,000 celestial years is a long time. This is the duration of demigods. Just to give example, 12 hours for them is actually how much? 6 months for us. 1 day for them is 1 year for us. So calculate the 30 days, 360 days like that in that category. That is one celestial year. 1,000 such celestial Brahmaji was worshipping. Anyway, so that is the second question. Let me know how Yogamaya works and Mahamaya works. And third one is, how do you interact with this Mahamaya and Yogamaya? I want to understand this. Because he wants to know that what if I actually, when he start creating or doing something, because Lord actually blessed him what he has to do. Then he started getting a lot of doubts. See, if in the beginning, Brahma wouldn't have had any doubts. Because Lord Vishnu inspired him, yes, these are something they are going to do. He immediately started getting doubts. Like whenever you get a seva, only then doubt comes. Correct? Before you get the answer paper, where is the question of how to write the answer? Right? Question paper. When you get the question paper only, you will get questions. Till then, you say, okay, fine. When you actually get the seva, yes, Prabhu, this is the seva. Then you say, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama, Hare Hare. Then we'll wake up. Oh, this is the situation I'm in. So, Brahmaji started asking these questions that tell me how I am supposed to do it. The last question, 3 questions were, the 4th question is, I am supposed to create all the living entities in this Brahma Anda, right? But let me not be illusioned by pride, he says. Okay? Why does he say this? Why only pride? Why not lust? Why not anger? Why not greed? Because, understand this, Vishnu is not going to appear so frequently. He understood that. For ordinary creation, before creation only, first of all, he created me and gave me 1,000 years, celestial years to pray. When you start, imagine you're actually working in a company. Okay? You are the managing director. You are the main person. And people come and talk to you, ask you everything. And you start telling them what has to be done. This is how we have to do, this is how we have to do it. And the CEO of the company or the owner of the company never comes. Okay? Not for one day, not for 1 week, 1 month, 1 year, 10 years, never comes. Imagine 60 years later also he has not. You have not seen him. Only once you saw in the beginning when he recruited. After that you don't see him. What will you feel? Everybody is coming and telling you only everything. So you are considered more or less as a boss. Correct? 60 years if you don't see your boss at all, and everybody is coming and asking you everything, how will you feel? Won't you feel you are the supreme of that company? This Brahmaji is going to do for one full day, because once in a day of Brahma, Krishna will come, and that also gets confused. How long it is? Such a long time, and all the devatas who are very powerful are going to come and ask Brahma only for everything. Unless one supernatural demon comes, then they all go to Kshiradakshaya Vishnu or Lord Shiva. Otherwise, Brahma is everything, the creation. Brahma Anda is Brahma, Brahma's creation, and all the creation report to Brahma. Now, how will Brahma know that he is not the Supreme? Because everybody is coming and asking only. So there is a high chance that he will forget. That is why he is asking, what is that process? That I will not be illusioned by pride. Yeah? Now, the Lord actually congratulates him, saying that wonderful questions. But these are highly confidential matters. It cannot be understood by everybody. One in the shloka it is mentioned Saharahasyam. It's a top secret. But Srila Prabhupada, our dear Srila Prabhupada, translated it as devotional service. There is no devotional service word at all in the shloka. It just says Saharahasyam. It's highly top secret. Not everybody can understand. It's most confidential knowledge. Only those who understand this Saharahasyam, they can understand the meaning. When the translation, Srila Prabhupada put it as only by pure devotional service one can understand the Lord's answers. This is the mercy of the parampara for us. Because we should not actually look at the as it is meaning of the Shastras. That's why we need acharyas. Otherwise, you know Sanskrit, you can also understand. But you will not get this meaning because Divya Gyan Hriday Prakasito. It is there in the heart of the parampara. The previous spiritual master would have transferred to the next spiritual master. So we get it from them. When you get it, you understand this. Otherwise, it's not practically easy to understand this. Now, the Lord actually is saying it's a top secret, but because it's Rahasyam, I will bless you with my causeless mercy. You will be able to understand whatever is important for you. I am going to give that mercy to you. So please hear attentively. Now, what does he say? This is the first shloka he says, right? And he also says that you will understand this by realization, not that theoretically. I will give you that blessings. How many of us want that? That you just get, Krishna blesses you, all of you get full Krishna consciousness. We all want, right? Full realization, so you don't have to do, again you think, then I don't have to chant Hare Krishna. No, you will chant Hare Krishna with proper realization. Because in this place or in the spiritual world, Hare Krishna is ever. Because Golokira Premadan, Harinam Sankirtan. So we chant here also Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. In our Sampradaya, Gaudiya Vaishnavas, when you go to the spiritual world, under the shelter of Lord Chaitanya and his associates, we again chant Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Hare Hare. So get attached to this holy name, because this is what is going to take you back to Godhead, nothing else. More we actually take shelter of the holy name, more easy it is for us to go back to Godhead. Yeah? Now, the first one the Lord talks about is actually about his fallen forms. Right? Here, if you see the translation, it says Brahma It is I, the personality of Godhead. Now there are two people here already. Okay, Brahma is someone else and I is somebody else. Although they distinguish, Prabhupada has actually said this I is predominated I, another is a predominated I, like that he is explained in the purport. Who was existing before the creation, when there was nothing but myself, nor was there the material nature, the cause of this creation. That which you see now is also I, the person of Godhead, and after annihilation, what remains will also be I, the person of Godhead. Because when Hari appeared, he told Brahma, don't think I am someone new person. I only told you to chant tapa. I only told you. Now we'll be wondering who is this, because he said I am the Lord of Vaikuntha, and he showed the entire Vaikuntha regions to Brahma so that Brahma will be convinced. And Brahma saw, this one is there, what kind of dress they wear in the Vaikuntha planets and spiritual world, everything he showed. And Brahma was able to see with his eyes, whatever eyes he had, he was able to see. And he was convinced that the person who is lying down is not the same person, they are different, right? Then he said, this is again the translation of the Acharyas. He said, before creation, the Lord is the Lord of spiritual world, because the material world is not there. When the creation takes place, material world exists. Here, the Purushavasaras, Paramatma comes, and the different incarnations. And when the material annihilation happens, when the material world is completely destroyed, he is still the Lord of Vaikuntha. This is how he explains. That is the first shloka. Can you understand that and this? It doesn't make, it's not the same. If you see there, it's different. But the Acharyas have explained this is the meaning. That is why it's called Saharasyam. Because some code word is there, and you see the code word, you understand something else, but actual meaning is something else. It is there in the heart of the pure devotees. This is actually, that is why without a spiritual master, don't even think of going back to Godhead. It's practically impossible. You may get into a flight, but that flight will go and then drop you somewhere else and saying, this is that place, stay here. Like how people go to moon, right? We don't know, I don't want to get into the controversy now. but in general, people actually think, oh, I've reached this. The Shastra says, no, that's not the thing. But anyways, so we may get cheated. That's why we need a spiritual master. And those who actually are not aspiring for spiritual master should fervently pray to Prabhupada to send them a spiritual master, because it's very, very important. Only after you get a spiritual master, it's called initiation. That means you start your devotional life. Till then, there is no devotional life. It's only some other word I wanted to say, but not now, not in this audience. So he says that, and Brahma starts understanding. The second question answer is, the Lord actually talks about the whole Maya, Yoga Maya and Mahamaya. He says, whatever is not in relation to me, that's Maya. If you find something in relation to me, then it's not Maya. Wherever, whatever we see, if you think that this is not Krishna's energy, that is Maya. So this understanding is very useful, because in the material world, there are our sense objects, we have the senses, there are sense objects. When you see the sense object actually is connected to Krishna, how will you enjoy? It's Krishna's property. Only because of illusion we actually think that this is my property. And Brahma, he tells Brahma, then you not actually, when you create, you understand this is not yours, it's mine. So because it's mine, you will not enjoy, you will not be disturbed. He explains that. And then the third one actually answers, the third shloka of the same thing is that he explains about relationship. Now who he is explained. He explains about the different energies that he had, spiritual energy and material energy. And the third one is that how does he interact with these energies? That also he explains. That's the third thing he says. He says, I am there in everything, but I am also not there in everything. It's very cryptic. He says, I exist in everything that I create and also exist out of everything. Even in Bhagavad Gita, Krishna tells it to Arjuna, Maya tatam idam sarvam jagad avyakta murtina mat sani sarvabhutanena chaham teshavajadaga. So the Lord says that I am there in everything, but I am still not there in everything. How do we understand these things? One time, one of Srila Prabhupada's disciples, Pradyumna Prabhu, asked Prabhupada, you said the pure devotee of the Lord is always seeing Krishna. Because Krishna is present in everything. This is the understanding, right? If you say that something is not related, this is not related to Krishna, then it is Maya. This is not Maya. Krishna is there. Your mind is in Maya. Okay? This is not Maya. Your conception is Maya. Because the existence cannot live without Krishna. Krishna is the soul of everything. He is the energy of everything. He is the creation. But our mind, because we actually don't connect with Krishna, that it makes us in illusion. Now, he went and asked Prabhupada, Prabhupada, you also said, Andantarastha Paramano Chayantarastam Govindamadi Purusham. That means even in atom, Paramatma is there. Right? Even in atom, Lord is there as Paramatma. Then he asked Prabhupada, when you see the whole world, there are so many atoms. This Paramatma and that Paramatma, will they not overlap? Right? Imagine the kind of question they asked Prabhupada. And Prabhupada would actually break her head, like, what kind of people I'm getting to initiate and follow, right? Prabhupada said, like, when you come to the stage of pure devotion service, you'll understand that now. Right now, you will not be able to comprehend whatever I explain. So please wait. Because they are asking if the Goswamis are pure devotees and they are seeing Krishna, why are they crying that I am not able to see Krishna? Oh Lord, is the Lord there in this one, or is the Lord there in that one? Krishna is there everywhere, no? That's what is this sloka. How can someone explain this to neophytes? Look at Prabhupada's condition. Because that is why Prabhupada said, he did not explain this in that high language. That is why even in the 10th canto, Prabhupada's purports are telling that you are not the body, you are the soul. Follow the four regulative principles, no eating, no sleeping, no meat eating, no intoxication, no gambling, no illicit sex. He is talking about this when Krishna is performing Ras Lila. No translation at all, because Prabhupada understands these are not easy to understand. When you come to that platform, you don't have to ask that question. Automatically it will be revealed in our heart. This faith we should have. That if Prabhupada and Krishna has brought up to this level from wherever we are, they will take us there. This faith we should cultivate. Because faith is the only currency in Krishna consciousness. If somewhere we are actually fallen, struggling hard, somehow something has happened. Of course the devotees have helped. But who inspired the devotees to come? Why did not go to give somebody in West Indies? Why did they come to me and give me this Krishna consciousness? Right? That means the Lord has a plan. Prabhupada has a plan. Our gurus have a plan. And they have brought us up to this level. If they can bring us up to this level, we can go back to Godhead. Because that's the plan they have. We have or not, it's a different thing. This is why, what is the Goswami's songs that Srinivasacharya sang? Dhira, Adhira, Jana, Priya Karo. That means even you are a hooligan. Is that the word used? Hooligan means rowdy. Huh? Ruffians. All the big words. Now I don't even know how to distinguish hooligan, ruffian, rowdy and all that. Yeah. For me everything is same. Maybe somebody has a mustache, somebody has I don't know how you call them. But even such kind of people will be delivered by Lord Chaitanya. He came here for that. He came here to deliver everybody. But then what is that we need to have? Have faith and be with the devotees. And don't commit Vaishnava Aparadha. This is what is the qualification. Because we have to stay along the devotees. If you disturb them, how will they allow you to stay with them? Then you have to tolerate it. And in the process, what pleases the Lord? Chanting of Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Keep chanting Hare Krishna as much as possible. Don't stop it. So Prabhupada told, I've given you whatever is necessary for you. That's sufficient to go back to Godhead. So this is the third thing. That is, He is there everywhere. And He is not there everywhere. Right? How will you understand? Only a pure devotee can understand. This is why Sripad Bhaktivinoda Thakur translates these 4 shlokas into different way. He doesn't translate the way I am explaining. I will tell you what it is. The 4th one says that how to not become proud. The 4th shloka of the Chatushloki is that Lord Vishnu Hari says to Brahma that if you want to be prideless, because that was the question he asked. That's the question he asked, that I will be creating, and because I will be creating, someday I will feel I am the Supreme, because everybody comes and tells me, you are the Supreme, you are the Supreme, you are the Supreme, and no one else comes have a, courage to come and tell me that you are wrong. Correct? Then naturally Brahmaji will feel that I am actually Supreme. In order to avoid that, pride has to go. But Lord is very clever. Lord doesn't tell just pride to be avoided. He also says that if you follow the process of bhakti, right? Sadhana bhakti, he gives the sadhana bhakti, meaning process of bhakti. That means chanting of Hare Krishna Mahamantra, following the four regulative principles. This is what our sadhana bhakti, given by Prabhupada. Lord gives him some sadhana bhakti. And if you follow this seriously, always, then you will not be disturbed from pride and lethargy. Why does he add lethargy there? You can see in the translation, there will be lethargy there. Is the fourth one there? Pride. And neither the partial nor in the final destruction. So if you go into the pulpit, Prabhupada actually, Lord tells him, Brahma, that you will not be actually proud and you will be free from lethargy. Or maybe he actually asks in the question itself. Why? Because imagine you are going to do all the activities. Okay? Somebody is telling you to go and do an activity, and you're doing these activities for a long time, 2-3 years you're doing, but you don't get any recognition. Right? You don't get any recognition. Will you do with the same vigor? No one even cares. You do a lot of activity, you do a lot of service, you go and then serve the Vaishnavas every day, day in and out. You're doing a lot of services. And if you don't get any recognition, will you be peaceful? People don't even consider you are important. You will feel disturbed. What you will feel is basically there's no kick to do that activity. So you become lazy, you become lethargic. You become, if you do it or not, how does it matter? Anyway, I am not getting recognition. I will do whatever I can. Right? That mindset will come. Guru Maharaj is asking us to preach. Sri Prabhupada is asking us to preach, but then whatever I can only I will do. Whatever seva only. No, they want us to stretch. Peaceful life of Krishna consciousness only for neophytes. If you want to be serious, you have to please Krishna. Look at Brahma, 1,000 celestial years, non-stop, no food, no drink. Of course, they didn't have any stove, anything there to cook or anything. But that is actually seriousness. At least mentally we should keep praying to the Lord. I am not serious at all. I am finding it very difficult. I am not able to do any seva for you. That we should keep on telling him. Even though you are doing the seva, keep telling him I am not doing anything. You only are doing. It's a fact. Material energy belongs to Krishna. Spiritual energy belongs to Krishna. Your body belongs to Krishna. It's not your body. That means material energy only is doing, no. Only we are allowing the material energy to do that seva. That's all it is. So it's not an illusion. But if you don't do that, then you will get into pride. So in order that Brahma does not become lazy, the Lord says if you follow the bhakti process of what He has given, sadhana bhakti, you like it or not, get up for Mangalarati, at least chant Hare Krishna Mantra, follow the four regulative principles, chant 16 rounds of Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Hare Hare. You do this every day, this is what Brahma has done. You are also doing the same thing, but in your own version, given by Sri Prabhupada. Not 1,000 celestial years, much easier, but getting it? Whatever Brahma actually has done to please Hari is what we are also doing now. But whatever is relevant for us, Sri Prabhupada has given us. So we should be very happy that this process will work. We should have that faith. Otherwise, why would they put so much effort, all the acharyas, to write all these books? Because they are come here to deliver all of us, all the living entities, especially conditioned souls. So, telling all these things, Lord Hari disappeared. He disappeared and Brahma was all alone. You will find that later on, when Brahma actually was very inspired to create, before that there was a huge wind, okay, and the lotus which was there was shaking, and he saw down full of water everywhere, right? So he got scared. So actually the acharyas mentioned that even though we get the spiritual knowledge, all these things, still we are in the material world. You have to be very, very careful. Because if this fear is not there, that I am in the material world, we will become complacent. Anyways, Lord has come for delivering us. So He will deliver us. So why worry? He's come now. See, Varahadeva appeared here. What was the intention? Why did Varahadeva appear? To lift the earth from nether regions and kill Hiranyaksha. He did it successful. Why did Lord Ram appear? Establish Dharma and kill Ravana. Why did Lord Chaitanya appear? Huh? To spread Krishna consciousness and deliver all the conditions. So that's why he came, of course. Internal reason is different, external reason is this. That means for him, his incarnation to be successful, he has to deliver all of us. Otherwise people say your incarnation is Patita Pavan incarnation, no, you're not. Right? But you should not get into this complacency, saying that anyways the Lord will deliver me. No, Lord will deliver everybody till this line. You are right outside the line. No, we should actually put ourselves in the lotus feet of the Lord. Only those who are in the lotus feet of the Lord and the Acharyas, they get recognized. They get qualified to go back. So this is something that we have to endeavor. We have to endeavor. We have to put our own effort to the best of capacity. We can't imitate. We can't imitate our Acharyas. We can't imitate our spiritual masters. They are far out, the way they think, the vision that they have. But if they are asking us to do something, that means they know that we can do it. Because Srila Prabhupada said, I am giving you the 16 rounds. Although Mahaprabhu expected everybody to chant 1 lakh. Huh? 1 lakh names, that is 64 rounds approximately. And Srila Bhakti Siddhanta Thakur, Goswami Prad, he said, if you are not chanting 64 rounds, you can't be my disciple. Of course, he initiated the Grahasthas, but sannyasis all chant 64 rounds. Prabhupada saw that 64 rounds means difficult. Because if you see Srila Prabhupada's mode, he would actually chant 4 rounds every day before every meal in his Grahastha ashram. Still, he became perfect. Of course, he is an Acharya. Instead of not able to chant any round, chant 4 rounds before every meal. That's also okay. Because it's not going to be so easy to chant 16 rounds continuously at one shot. If you can do it, you are very fortunate. It's because of all the great Vaishnavas who have made this setup for all of us. I had a very good Mangalarti program here to chant the rounds. Otherwise, it's not easy. Not everybody in the world will have this privilege that they can chant 16 rounds in the morning. Some people are more unfortunate. They'll find it difficult. But the process given is very simple. That if you do these things, chant 16 rounds, 4 great principles you follow, and do Vaishnava Seva, you will actually get perfection. Same like Brahmaji, you will be able to see the Lord, and the Lord will actually take us. So this is actually the understanding of these 4 shlokas. If you can understand these 4 shlokas, and he told Brahmaji, of course I forgot to tell you about Bhaktivinoda Thakur's part. Let me finish that. So Bhaktivinoda Thakur says the first shloka is about Krishna himself, Vishnu, what is he and things like that. So that's called Sambandha Gyan. Who is God? Who are I? Who am I? What is my relationship? This is called Sambandha Gyan. And the Lord explains that first shloka and second shloka is actually Sambandha Gyan. He explained the material nature, the spiritual nature, and we are also part of spiritual nature. We are called Vibhinamsha, means marginal energy. He explained all these things. So these 2 verses, first and second, 33 and 34, Srila Bhaktivinoda Thakur says that this is called Sambandha Gyan. And the next shloka, which says that I am here, I am not here also, it's called Prayojana. That is Prema Bhakti. Prema Bhakti means the devotees who are in that platform, as I said, is Paramatma in this atom and that atom. Those who are in that platform can see the Lord all the time and also feel that the Lord is not there. Getting it? They will always they will always feel the presence of the Lord. Still they cry that Lord is not here with me. Like Madhavendra Puri. And Madhavendra Puri in his later days, he was actually calling out Dwarkadish, like, my Lord, when will you come? Right? And one of his disciples, who was that? Ramchandra Puri. He said, this is the time to remember Brahman. Why are you crying that you didn't do anything for the Lord, anything for the Lord? This is not the time. Ramchandra Puri, when he said this, Madhavendra Puri became very angry. He said, "Get out, rascal." See, it's not that Madhavendra Puri was not seeing the Lord. He was always feeling the presence of the Lord. Still he was crying. This mood is not easy to understand. We cannot understand it unless you come to that stage of Prema Bhakti. Right? But that will come. Whatever is possible for the living entities, they will give. We don't have to say that I want to become like Srimati Radharani, I will dance like this. Nothing will do. Nothing is going to happen, okay? They will know where to put us. Be happy with that. Okay? Because they have brought us to this level, they will take us to whatever is required. But we should have that faith and surrender to the Acharyas. Don't feel that you know better than the Acharyas at any point in time. You can always inquire if you want to understand, but don't feel that you are better at any point in time. Because sometimes when you read so many scriptures, you feel that you know a lot. Right? But that is not the qualification. It is the mercy, the cosmic mercy of the Lord and the devotees that you understood this. Now that's the third one. The fourth one is sadhana bhakti, he says. Right? So that means that's the abhideya. In the Vedic scriptures, sambandha jnana, abhideya jnana and prayojana jnana. These three are important. Sambandha means understanding who we are with the Lord. Abhideya means the process to go to the Lord. And prayojana means the goal. The goal. These three things you understand, that's all it is. All the Vedic scriptures only that. Any Vedic scriptures, any instruction you take, it has to be only these three. Okay? Partial. For example, if you are worshipping Lord Shiva, it's partial process. It's not the full process. Because the goal is to actually worship the Supreme Person of Godhead. And Lord Shiva is an amsha of the Supreme Person of Godhead. So worshipping him means you are worshipping the amsha of the Supreme Lord, not the full Supreme Lord. So everything can be classified into only these three things. Getting it? So, that is the gist of these 4 verses. But if you read the translation and the purport, you may not get the same meaning, because this is actually the meaning given by the Acharyas, and especially Bhakti Vaibhav classes. Those who have attended, they will get more nectar there, but we go very fast there. Because of that, it's not easy to get. And there are so much of commentaries the Acharyas have written on these 4 shlokas, because especially to convince everybody that Mayavad philosophy, which is common across everybody, is not correct. Even the demigods actually understand Mayavad philosophy only, many times. Because they don't see the Lord so often. Brahma is seen, but not everyone. Even if they go to the Kshetrasagar, meditate, they only hear the sound. They can't see the Lord. The Lord can be seen only by bhakti. Premanjana Churita Bhakti Vilochanena. So unless you have the love of God or Bhaktya Mama Bijanati, pure bhakti when you do, you can see the Lord by His causeless mercy. Otherwise it's not possible. Since the demigods don't do pure devotion service, but they do mixed devotion service, they don't get to see the Lord. So they also feel that the Supreme is impersonal. Because you hear the sound alone, okay, but you don't see the form. How will you feel? And this is not for 1 year, 2 years, millions of years. Obviously, you will not actually have that faith that Lord has a form. So we are very fortunate that we have Jagannath, Baladev, Subhadra, Mai. The deities are there. They are the representation of the Supreme Lord. They are the Supreme Lord in this deity form. So we are very fortunate when you come in front of them and then ask them, what is that we'll ask them? This all there, I don't understand. Right? Everybody comes and tells me different things. I also hear. That's all it is. Give an oral reception and pray to the Lord. I don't understand. And even if I understand, I don't know whether somebody else will come and change this later. Right? Because Acharyas keep writing more and more commentaries and more commentaries. Each Acharya has written little more elaborate than the previous Acharyas. So there's no limit to the glories of the Lord. So we just tell them. Prabhupada told this to one of the disciples. The disciple said, Prabhupada, if I read all the books, what condition I should come to? What should I come to? Prabhupada said, after reading all my books, if you come to conclusion that I don't know anything, then you are understood everything. I have to depend on the Lord and the Acharyas. This is the mindset we should cultivate always. Although you are doing... See, what is the point in saying that beggar doesn't have any money and he calls himself beggar? Obviously you don't have any money. There is no humility for that. You have all the money, still you say I am a beggar. That requires a lot of humility. Of course, the other part of egoistic beggar is becoming a miser. right? They will have money, they say, I'm Kangal, no, I don't have money. That is not the right thing, that attitude is not the right thing. But that's because of ego, saying that I am very important, so I am showing everybody that I am important. No, you serve the Lord and still feel that I am not serving the Lord. And in that mindset, if you serve the Lord is very pleased. Yeah, maybe one or two questions I can take, otherwise you will exceed the time. Hare Krishna. Yes. Was it helpful? Because these 4 shlokas are very tough, and Dinesh Prabhu actually called me yesterday and said, please do this. I said, any other shloka, okay, these 4 shlokas, not easy. It's quite tough.
Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna.
Prabhuji, I have 2 questions, Prabhuji.
Okay.
So first of all, thank you very much, because the number of pages of purport in this, will took so many days to complete read actually. 14, 15 pages per one.
Yes, 4 shlokas.
So thank you for very much, conclusively and giving us the understanding of this. So my question was, Prabhuji, 2 questions. So first is, one devotee was asking me, so we see the acharyas always keep commenting, for the scriptures, like this more and more, so that we get better understanding. And also we see on the other side of the Shankara philosophy also, where they also take so much of strain in writing very much elusive, purports for these kind of.
Correct.
So when we see our acharyas also giving so much emphasis to write the purport to tell us the truth. And we also see on the other side where the Shankara philosophies, they also write so much of time, taken to write the purport. So it understands, there also some content, some worth is there. And here also,
Yes.
But when the vada comes, between the both, where we are trying to tell, what is written there is of useless, there. But the point, they also have taken, you need to understand that there should be some essence or other.
Yes.
So how do we understand the both?
That's the first question. Okay. Sometimes the questions are more longer than the answers. Yes, so you all heard the question? Because Shankara followers, Shankara followers are very powerful, because who is the owner of Shankara philosophy? Lord Shiva. Lord Shiva, only he can do it. Because he is the Amsha of Vishnu, and he has the power. Otherwise, they don't have any stance of that. Because the Lord wanted both kind of things to continue. Otherwise, imagine everybody gets only Colgate toothpaste every day morning. I mean, there is no variety, no? Are yaar, Colgate dega yaar, chalo. So or every day morning you get only khichdi, no matter what it is, right? Variety will not be there.
For this logic, say only Colgate, because it is a paste. I am ready to do it every day. But instead of that, somebody gives me something else which will not be good for me. I am not going to accept it, just because there is an alternative.
Correct. Very true. That means I am giving the truth, and also I am giving the untruth. Okay? Your ego, you say that I don't want to have the truth, I will take the untruth. Because I want variety. I came to this material world because I don't want the Lord to be the Lord. I want me to be the Lord. Okay, you have to be an illusion. You can't, because reality is I am the Lord. Living entity cannot be the Lord. So he has to create that. Now, how does he do this? Again, different acharyas are given different commentaries. Why does the Lord have to create like this? Right? Why should they actually create a material world and put everybody here and then ask them to work like this? It's a long conversation. But in short, the Lord wants variety. Because he enjoys variety. He is Rasagrahi also. He wants variety. Sometimes, otherwise why the demons are required? He wants it. That is why it's creating the demons. Otherwise, do you need demons in the world? Do you need demons in the spiritual world? Someone who doesn't like the Lord, do we need that? Who created it? The Lord only created it. And he only destroys them. This is a drama party. Do you want to be the part of the drama or not is the question. This entire creation is his property. You understand the truth, you will be blissful. If not, Hare Krishna. You will have your own plan. Go become a dog or hog or do everything and come again somewhere. Some Prabhupada will come. His mercy will be there somewhere. He'll sit and hear. Oh, this is all there. Okay, I didn't know this. I have to be a dog in the next lifetime. So we actually become serious and take to Krishna consciousness. Because the Lord wants variety. If there is no variety, in spite of all the variety, still I chose Colgate. That means you love Colgate. Correct? That's what the Lord wants. In spite of all these things, if Krishna comes and tells you, Arey, they all cheated you, I am not the Supreme Person of Godhead. The gopis would say, it doesn't matter, he's a nice boy, I like him, I want to give my life to him. This is expectation that Mahaprabhu wants us. Even if Krishna comes and tells us openly that I am not the Supreme Personality of Godhead, I will tell you frankly, you still want to serve me? Yes, I want to serve you. In spite of everything, even if you are not the creator, you are not the supreme, somebody else is the creator, it's fine. Of course, for a conversation's sake, I am saying he is the supreme basically. But we are truth seekers, always. And in spite of all these things, you still worship Krishna as the Supreme Person of Godhead. If you worship him as the Supreme Person of Godhead, it's Lakshmi Narayan worship. If you worship the Supreme Person of Godhead as my friend or my lover or my master, that mindset you worship, that actually is pure devotion service. Right? Then Krishna accepts that relationship. That's what he wants. He doesn't want us to worship him because he is the Supreme Person of Godhead. Although in the sadhaka stage we have to do that. But that's why Krishna also says that I don't like that mindset. So I will appear as Lakshmi Narayan, you worship Narayan form. That although there are Jagannath, Subhadra, Mai, Gaurangi, Bangalore, there are Lakshmi Narayan forms. So we have to be very, very careful not to make any mistakes when you are doing deity worship. Because Lakshmi Narayan doesn't accept, Krishna accepts. You put some flower into his mouth, he'll eat it. But you have to come to that stage of putting that. Otherwise from backside, Maya Devi will give you one 2 plate inside. You will get jacked. Don't even try it. We have to be very careful. Till the point we understand that we are actually in the Prema Bhakti stage, we should not actually play with the Lord. Although the Lord is merciful, that's why Acharya has given this, sing this, do this, just do that. Don't add anything into it. If you add anything into it, then you have to have difficulty. Some difficulty will come on the path of Bhakti. Yeah? So for that variety alone, they also actually are progressing. It's empowered by the Lord only, no? See, end of the day, 2 boys are there, 2 kids for the mother. One boy says this is the right way, this other right way. For both of them, she only is feeding. Right? If she starves the other person, where will that philosophy come? The Lord only is doing everything. In spite of all these things, still you are actually worshipping the Lord, then you are glorious. That's why the Lord says, yes, please come, my son. He says, shake hands. Prabhupada actually mentioned, he will shake hands. In fact, he told one of the girls, in very nice in the early days, one of the girls many girls were sitting. Prabhupada said, when Krishna will grab you and kiss you. It's there in the Lilamrit, saying that if you worship him, if you love him, you will never get cheated. Because that's the audience who were there, very fallen audience were there. Prabhupada said, please accept Krishna as your husband, please accept Krishna as your lover. So he was attracting them like that. He said, yes, I will, he will actually, and then the girls were all laughing. Right? Jayadeva Maharaj actually mentions this pastime which happened. I don't remember either Philadelphia or that place somewhere in the East Coast. But amazing that Krishna only does everything. Right? Krishna only has created us. We fall into illusion. Then sometimes we feel like, why did he create me in this way? Why did he actually fall down like this? It's better that Krishna actually forced me to do something. Than, how many of you want to get forced to go back to Godhead? We all want. But the thing is, then you go there, you will not have that kind of a feeling that the Lord wants us to show. The reciprocation will not be there. But Guru will not be like that. Guru will force you. You do this way. Get up in the morning. He forces. Krishna does not force anything. Yeah, because Krishna is Samoham Sarvabhuteshu. He is equal to everybody. You worship him, he'll be happy. You don't worship him, he'll be fine. He is equal to everybody. But if you worship him, he'll reciprocate accordingly. But the acharyas don't give that leeway. If you don't worship, you say, rascal, where did you go? What did you do? Why did you go and stay here? Get up for Mangalarti. He will give all the services, and then we are fortunate to have acharyas like that. Although it is painful, because they are forcing us, but that pain is going to transform into nectar end of our life. Yeah? Does it help you? Again, it's a very deep topic, and it's a fantastic question too. You already know the answer for the benefit of everybody asking this. What is the second question?
Thank you very much, Prabhuji. Very helpful. So second question, Prabhuji, you mentioned the point that just by following the things in Krishna consciousness and expecting Patita Pavana Hetu Tava that come please be merciful and I'm going to. That's not going to work. Rather, we have to throw ourselves, or we have to put ourselves into the lotus feet of Gaurmita and take that extraneous endeavor to perform the bhakti.
Yeah.
So my question, Prabhuji, is that there is something called justification system in our mind. where if I do this, still I'll be, considered for giving that mercy. So that justification system comes, creeps into us, over and over, and it has two sides. One, it makes us to go on also to come to that point, and on the other side, we are not able to put ourselves into the complete shelter of the Lord. So how do we, grow in a way where we don't just perform bhakti to just going on, rather to get the mercy of the Lord?
Only youth boys can ask these kind of questions. Yeah. Sometimes we feel whatever we are doing, we sometimes feel that not everybody is doing this, but that means I must be actually a little qualified. if they are all going 100%, I'll also go. Sometimes we feel that when you are actually doing service to the Lord day in and day out, and someone who is not doing at all, and when you see them. No, I understand. I'm giving explanation so that we all understand what questions you ask, because your question is extremely deep question. This is because many times you don't compare, but we have this justification internally in the mind that I think I'm doing what the Acharya is asking, right? And I am doing it. We don't tell that the Lord is making me do it. How do we cut this? Right? Because many times I am getting up for Mangalarati, okay? I am chanting my rounds. I am serving Vaishnavas. I am reading Srimad Bhagavatam. I am doing everything. I am taking only prasadam. I am doing the preaching. I am doing everything. I am doing. There I am is there, right? Aham. Correct? We are doing it, but actually we are not the ones who are empowering it. The material nature is doing it, or the spiritual nature is doing it. Right? Devi Yesha Gunamayi Mama Maya Durataya. If you think like that, then you are in Maya. If you think that the Lord is actually doing all these things through me, I am just an insignificant servant in the hands of the Parampara, then you are in the protected way. How will you get this? Only when you start preaching. When you give Jiva Dvaya, when you preach the message of Lord Chaitanya and Prabhupada to everybody, you will get into a lot of difficult situations, and that difficult situations will keep you humble always. Because it's very difficult to preach to people, make them devotees. That is why preaching is essence. Prabhupada said, even after you are qualified, what is that you will be doing? You will be preaching. You have to preach. That's called Jivadaya. When you don't give this Jivadaya aspect, Jivadaya means compassion for all the living entities. If that is not there, then it's very easy to get puffed up. That's why this has to be your mind. I finished my sadhana, now I should go back. Be selfless. Because when you are selfless, the Lord, everybody in the creation becomes very happy. Ordinary karmi is also very happy. Right? They also, if you give them, okay, I have only one bonda, hopefully bonda is not there today, one bonda, I will give it to you. Right? I don't want, I have eaten many, you can take it. They'll feel, oh, you are very selfless, you are not selfish. Even karmi is like it. That mindset we have to have. That's why the preaching aspect is very, very important. The more we actually give Krishna consciousness to others, don't think, actually Guru Maharaj was telling, His Holiness Jayapadama was telling that Prabhupada told him many times, not once or twice in the early days, that many times we think after we get qualified, we can preach. But Prabhupada told him by preaching we will get qualified. So preaching is the essence. If you are not preaching, preach to yourself, no one is there. Talk to yourself. Or go and give this. It's very important. Don't think someday will come, then I will get qualified and I can preach. No, don't think like that. That day will not come so easily because you are thinking you are going to get qualified. Put it in the lotus feet of the Lord, put it in the lotus feet of Acharyas. I don't know what to do. You please engage me. I am a compounder. You are the doctor. Right? You please give whatever message has to go. I will pass it on. Of course, to be in that kind of mindset, you should follow strict sadhana. Not that I'll go and preach, I don't chant Hare Krishna. You chant Hare Krishna, no? You chant. I will. And then say Dhruva Maharaj. Dhruva Maharaj did not actually chant Hare Krishna. He chanted. Okay? So he goes back and his mother also goes back. No, that and all is old age story. No, not no. These days you have to actually follow strict sadhana, but you should also give mercy. When you give mercy to everybody, then again and again you have to surrender. If you don't preach, there is no adventure, then the Lord will put you into problems in family. Some problem will keep coming. You decide we want that kind of problem or preaching problems. Huh? Health problems, yeah, health problems. We'll get health problems. Because in that health problem, he'll start praying, my Lord, I am not able to chant Hare Krishna, please help me. Instead of that, you'll be fit, whatever you fit, go on and preach, do whatever you can, just give this message to everybody. Inspire others to become Krishna conscious. That's all it is. Then you have to surrender to the Lord. Getting it? That is happening automatically. If you don't do it and pray to Krishna, I want to come back to you, then you are not surrendering to me, not sufficient. Then okay, I will give you a situation wherein you have to surrender. Health problems, family problems, job problems, everything comes. You keep crying. Instead of that, you preach, these problems won't be there, but some other problem will be there. Problem guaranteed. But some problems are so sweet to solve that Lord feels very happy. You want that kind of problem or food problem, things like that. It's a choice. But take whatever the Lord likes. That's why all of them, what did Krishna say? What is the shloka? Nachatasman manusheshu kashime brekatamra. He said, preach the message of Bhagavad Gita, no one is better devotee than him. He is saying this. And our Lord Chaitanya, what did he say? Yare deko tare kaho Krishna Upadesh. That's the same Krishna Upadesh. Bhagavad Gita information give everybody. And what did Prabhupada telling? Preaching is the essence. Our spiritual master is telling us. Same thing. Yeah, so this we have to keep it in mind always. Then we will not be disturbed. Yeah? Okay? Hare Krishna. Maybe one question max. Okay. Fine, Prabhu.
Thank you so much, Prabhu, for a wonderful explanation of this sloka and the questions. My question was, like Brahmaji prayed and he got all this mercy of the Lord and instructions also. After that he did creation. And then in the first time actually all those demons were created and they were running behind Brahmaji actually.
Yeah.
And then he goes to the Lord and then he requests, Lord, please help me out. Then Lord says him that please give up this mentality or give up this body and accepts you.
Yeah.
Sometimes when we are also, as you are saying, that problems will come in the teaching. So that is very nice and it is very absorbing also that the mind completely gets absorbed in order to solve it or in order to address it.
Yeah.
So how do we understand practically this application that Brahmaji is running and the creation that is he has created and Lord is correcting him that these demons they are behind you, please give up your body.
Yeah, see, this doesn't happen every day. Only once in a day of Brahma, sometime, one point in time it happened actually. When he created, they actually ran behind Brahmaji. And sometimes Brahmaji actually ran behind his own daughter, right? And then Lord Shiva intervened and said, that's not okay. He shot his Trishul. See, this is actually sometimes it's just a warning to all of us that even though you feel they are very protected, as long as you are in material world, you have to be very careful. Again, nothing is lost. Only the time will get delayed. Okay? Now, Krishna doing this, asking this kind of things to do, because when you start doing some activity, there are high chances that first time when you do, there may be some mistakes. You don't know exactly. You learn over time. Okay, we shouldn't do this, we should do this and things like that. So Brahmaji also tried something at one point in time. See, anything which is mentioned in the Shastras, you can see it this way or that way. Okay? You can see it's actually, Brahmaji is actually made a mistake and how can he be topmost? If you are topmost, you should not make any mistakes. You are a pure devotee of the Lord. Right? So we will start actually finding it out. You can see it in that way and go on finding faults with every damn thing. Or you can see in the way Acharyas are saying. The Acharya is saying it's just a warning for all of us, you have to be careful. Even though you feel you are, you have created something, that same created things will come behind you, so be careful. Yeah? So that shows that we cannot actually stop surrendering. The mindset of surrender to the Lord always should be there. In fact, Tamakrishna Maharaj mentions in the TKG diary that Sri Prabhupada, one time in London Ishvara, in front of London Ishvara, is praying. So, fervently praying something. So Tamakrishna Maharaj asked him, Prabhupada, what were you praying to to Radha London Ishvara? And Prabhupada said, I am asking him to protect me from fall down. Like, Tamakrishna Maharaj was surprised, like, Prabhupada, you are the Acharya, how can you fall down? But this mindset should be maintained. We should always maintain this attitude that I can fall down anytime. I should be careful. I should actually depend on the Lord for everything. And if you are in that mindset will come only when you are preaching. Otherwise, if you think this for 15 minutes and chant, you will sleep. This mindset will not stay for long. But when you are preaching, because you are seeing new people, see how many of you feel, if you go to MG Road and that kind of places, right? You are very careful not to go venture out in wrong directions. You go to Mayapur. It's our own devotee community. Go into any restaurant, eat anything you want, you know it's prasad. In the temple, you eat anything, you feel like, oh, it's prasad. But can you be in that mindset there? No, you have to be very protective. You have to. So that is why preachers go to those places, right? But you should come back and get charged. If you are there, charge goes after that. Somebody will sit in the corner and then you're really gone. I don't want to use the word screwed, but then you can't come back. So you should know what is your extent, how much you can go and come back. Huh? Nobody comes. Come. Yes, it's comedy. So like that. Does it help you, Prabhu? So keep focus on preaching, because there's so much to learn, and not everybody in the world can learn everything. Doesn't mean that someone who has not learned any of these things cannot go back to Godhead. They can also go back to Godhead if they please Lord Chaitanya. Because Lord Chaitanya is not asking that you need to be thorough in your Bhagavatam, and only I'll allow you, okay, tick mark, okay, Bhagavatam ho gaya, chal, next, what else? He is not looking at that. He wants you to be surrendered to Him completely, saying that, my Lord, without you I simply can't exist. Please help me. In that mindset, if you're always there at the time of death, 100% Lord Chaitanya will come. That faith we should have. I'll stop here. Anybody has questions, we can take it offline, because I don't want you people to feel bad. Prasadam is waiting. Yeah? Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Thank you so much.
Hare Krishna.